Councillor Reid.
I feel bound, given the comments that have been made about Neighbourhood Watch, to say that in my ward there are some very excellent Neighbourhood Watch organisations operating, and in fact very much appreciate the support they get from the local police, which is very responsive and helpful, and I know they have a very good relationship. So I feel bound to put that on the record. But I think that my suggestion is that perhaps as an area committee, we, given the importance that the Commissioner wishes to place on Neighbourhood Watch or similar kinds of organisations, that we try perhaps to map out for our area where we have Neighbourhood Watch, where we don't, what works, what doesn't work, perhaps invite them to an area committee. I haven't thought it through, do some work to see how we as an area could review the quality of our community engagement with the police and see what we could do to kind of raise the game there. I know we have excellent residents' associations. So it's just something we could perhaps put on the table and look at in the future, and a useful role we could play as an area committee to support you.
Yes, that would be very useful. I mean, I certainly haven't given up on Neighbourhood Watch, far from it. And I think if we give them a bigger and more interesting role, you'll get more people wanting to get involved. At the moment, I have experience of our own village Neighbourhood Watch. You sort of have a cup of tea and a natter, and that's about as much as you do. But actually to do something that's proactive, that's what we really want people to do. I mean, in the villages, more so than in the town, you've got lots to do in the town and lots of things happening. But to try to make them proactive, I think is important. And perhaps, I'm pleased you said what you've said, because it can be something we can revisit. Because we don't want to turn our backs on anything. Anything that helps prevent crime, we must be looking at. It's an investment in terms of making Cambridge and Cambridgeshire a safer place, and we must all strive to do that, whatever way. And I accept that the county is very different in different places. You go to Wisbech, it's very much different to what the situation you find here. So you've got to tailor it. But overall, what we're trying to do is get the community involved. And I must say that the police that I have met with out in the field are incredibly supportive to the voluntary side. A lot of people think they're not, but they are really supportive, and I'm so pleased about that and want to work along with them further in the future to see that we can actually do that. Get us working together. It's a big task. It's easy to say it, but my goodness, it's going to take a while to do it. But that's what I want to do. I want to make some good progress on that in this sort of three-year period we have.
Thank you. Gentleman in the front row, please.
Thank you. Sir Graham, we've had some loud voices. We've never got a Neighbourhood Watch group going in the city centre. There's only one active Neighbourhood Watch group in the city. Can I tell you that working with Parkside Police Force and the database they've got there, that there are over 70 street coordinators have responded to a circular saying, yes, we are active. Can I repeat that, please? 7070. In addition to that, we also have in the city a similar sort of number of residents' associations. And in both cases, we're currently in process of producing a map which will show where these various activists are. Regarding parish councils, which we don't have in the city, the residents' associations go some way towards addressing that, but only a very small way. But what is interesting in this context is that in some areas, parts of the city, the Neighbourhood Watch group is a social group as well, and this is quite high up their priorities, so they are creating a small community. In other parts of the city, this role is taken by the local residents' associations. Another activity we've got going at the moment is that through Sergeant Matt Bradby at Parkside, who is community policing sergeant. We're in the process of organising a pilot meeting with a selected area. We're not quite sure exactly where it's going to be. It needs to be challenging, but also have a fair prospect of success to get the Neighbourhood Watch coordinators who are already active in that area, to get them together, to brief them, to try and create a group dynamic. And this is a project which we hope to have the first session in February. I have a question. If we get the date for that, would you be prepared to come along and talk to them to explain what demands, because I understand that there will be demands, and what your expectations, let's do it that way, what your expectations would be for an enhanced neighbourhood watch activity?
Sure. I've already met John Fuller and talked to him about this in some detail. And he's very enthusiastic. And I want to try and encourage that enthusiasm and give as much support as possible. And the answer is yes, of course I will. And I'm interested in what you said about producing a map of where you've got cover and where you've got various community organisations, residents associations, whatever it is. That would be useful to look at, to see what the pattern throws up. And Peterborough have done a similar sort of thing. So you can look at what is on the ground, you can look at where problem spots are, you can look at where you've got specific sort of crimes committed, and talk specifically to those people. Obviously the police would have to play a major role in that, but I would certainly want to use my office to facilitate that and to encourage people and to get feedback. I mean, it is terribly important. This feedback is so important. Sometimes it's staring you in the face and you don't actually recognise it until someone tells you about it.